of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, we want to announce we had an executive session regarding a legal matter. Public comment. We have a public comment. Okay. Meeting minutes. Both of you had time to read over the meeting minutes.
Yes.
All right, so I make a motion to approve the July 9th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Yeah, I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, new business here. Lower Frederick has again asked us for support and sponsorship donation along with some volunteers for movie night in Lower Frederick. We've done this in the past, I don't have a problem doing it again. So I make a motion to make a donation in the amount of $250 for movie night on Saturday, September 6th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Comment. I'm not opposed to working with Lower Frederick on movie nights and stuff like that, but could we get maybe the Parks and Rec to look at possibly having them here again, maybe other year or whatever? We used to have them here. And it was
We used to
nice.
have a movie night here?
Yeah,
Oh, well, this is for Movie on the Mountain, so this is,
okay, it says movie night.
yeah, but it is Movie on the Mountain,
Right,
yeah.
We've had them at Green Lane Park that we sponsored
Okay.
in
Yeah.
the past.
Well,
so we had to look at it. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with
yeah,
that.
and we supply the popcorn machine for this Movie on the Mountain night too.
Okay, good. All right, so I again say I make a motion to make a donation in the amount of $250.
I second.
Okay. Movie night on Saturday, September 6th. Do I have a second?
Yes, I second.
All those in favor?
I think he wants to get out of here.
Yeah, just keeping my focus here.
All right, and then what we have here is Mr. Carafa would like to step away and let the fire marshal become the EOC for Upper Frederick Township, which is what should happen. So I'm going to
And
make
the EOC is,
emergency management operator or
No.
officer. What is it, Bill?
It's actually EMC. It's
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, emergency management coordinator.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to blame
That's
the
why I
air.
asked.
I didn't know what it was.
He did it on purpose. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to say it.
Yeah, I've gotten like halfway through my courses, but with everything I have on my plate, I'm not gonna make the 1-year deadline.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna continue with them, and maybe move into deputy position, still work with emergency management, but I just
Okay.
want having courses done in time.
Right.
And Nate has
Nate has all
Oh,
the
He has the
certifications
certifications, perfect,
already. It
okay,
only makes
thank you.
sense.
Yeah. So again, I make a motion to remove William Carafa from the position of emergency management coordinator and replace him with the current fire marshal, Nathaniel D. Donato. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
What do we have here? This is a Dick subdivision. This is just a lot line change. This is essentially one neighbor giving his neighbor.
No, the one above it, 225 Neiffer,
Yeah, it's a different
Request for
lot
example.
line is the next one.
Oh, I don't even have that one on my.
So
On my
225
notes here,
Neiffer, 225 Neiffer, we received a letter from the property owner asking the board of supervisors for a zoning exemption. I've asked the solicitor for her advice on this matter, and Ms. Vicky, your advice was to have this submitted to the zoning hearing board, correct?
Correct, yes, because this board cannot vary the zoning ordinance. Or you can consider an amendment to the ordinance that would allow them to do what they're proposing to do, but the way the ordinance is written right now, you cannot grant a variance to it.
Okay, this was for Mr. Banna. I forgot to put him on my sheet.
Okay, nobody's here.
Yeah, and he wasn't coming this evening anyway, so we'll just table this for him.
We table it, or we have to push it back to the zoning hearing board?
I'm not sure that he wants to continue at this point.
Oh, okay, we have to let him know it has to go to the
Right,
zoning hearing
and
board.
then we can put them back on here. So for now, what do we just, we don't
Well,
even
it's
need
an
to
action
keep
item,
it.
right? Somebody's gotta follow
Yeah,
up
but-
with them.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to let him know, but
Yeah.
you don't need to take a vote on anything.
Okay, good, okay. So I'll be in touch with him tomorrow. But then we did have the Dick Subdevelopment approval for a lot line change. Essentially, this is a gentleman who was getting land from his neighbor, and it was reviewed by LTL back in May, and again through the county, which had no comments. So for this one here, I would just make a motion to approve a lot line change for the Dick subdivision based on the May review letter from LTL Consultants and the recent plan submission.
Right, subject to compliance with the LTL review letter.
Their most recent plan does do that, and the county has reviewed the most recent plan to confirm that.
Okay, just keep it in there.
Okay. Okay.
Because Norm hasn't issued a formal letter yet saying that it's in compliance. So his letter still stands as it is. I mean, eventually he'll issue a letter that says everything's in compliance, but he has not done that yet, because there was an amended plan that was filed
Right,
after that, so
okay,
keep it subject to,
right, so I make a motion to approve the lot line change for the Dick subdivision based on the May, in compliance with the May review letter from LTL Consultants.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The next one is just the open space referendum. We had gone through, had natural lands in here last month, finished up all the paperwork, so all that needs to be done now is I'm just gonna make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-07 for the open space referendum ordinances as advertised.
yes, it was advertised for
30
your
days.
consideration and adoption tonight if you so
Right.
see fit.
So it's all been out and through everybody.
Right now, this just authorizes the placement of it on the
The
ballot.
ballot.
That's
Right,
it.
Correct.
It then has to go on the ballot in November, and it depends on, you know, the public's vote,
Correct.
Right.
whether or not it can be imposed
Right.
there.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, so, SALDO Article 3 Amendment Approval for Advertising Ordinance 2025-08. This is an ordinance that establishes the filing of plan submissions requirements for any subdevelopment in the future coming into Upper Frederick Township. So I'm gonna make a motion to approve the advertisement of ordinance 2025-08 pending the inclusion of the introductory language for the ordinance per Ms. Kusto.
And it will need to go to County Planning Commission for review.
Right. So do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright. Next one is, SALDO Ordinance 20-29 Amendment Approval for Advertising Ordinance 2025-09.
What?
Yeah, and this one here is an ordinance that defines requirements for sanitary sewers in subdevelopments. This is just updating us with that. So we've discussed this at the PC, and it was sent up to us from them. So we're gonna go ahead and advertise that.
And this is new? There's no, it's not a change to something?
Yeah, it's a change to the existing section on sanitary sewers in the subdivision and land development ordinance. It would also have to go to the county County Planning Commission for review as well.
Right. And that's per our section 240-29 of that. So for that, I'm gonna make a motion
So
to,
when
go ahead.
you handed this out, I just wanna make sure I understand, we're adding the underlined part, is that what?
Yes,
So section, okay, so A is new. B only has little bits, and 3 is new, and
Correct.
B3, sorry, and then all of C and all of D.
Correct.
yes.
I just wanna make
Those
sure.
would be the underlying portions in your
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
packet.
You should have highlighted them instead of striking with that, but yeah. Did you look at that, Billy?
Yes, I
You
did.
read over that,
Yeah,
right?
I did that right before the meeting.
All right, so I make a motion to approve the advertisement of ordinance 2025-09 pending the inclusion of introductory language for the ordinance with Ms. Cousteau
And county review.
and county review.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, in front of the next one with the county review, where I get there.
Well, the next one is stormwater will have to be.
Yeah, one year.
The county.
I missed the other two, it could have been all one there. All right, so the other one is stormwater exemption ordinance amendment approval for advertising ordinance 2025-10. This is simply given the definition to a farm and applies the underlying district stormwater ordinance to the property, which is R80.
Plus underlying maximum impervious coverage for a farm.
Hold on, did I write that?
No.
No, I didn't. What'd you say there? What was it?
You're right in that it defines a farm, and
Right.
then it also, it exempts impervious coverage up to the maximum impervious coverage under the zoning ordinance if there's a farm involved. And a farm is defined as a minimum of 10 acres in the agricultural security area, be actively used for agricultural activities and subject to the county conservation district.
Now I gotta look at Miss Vicky. Where's that on here? Number
And I mess you up.
Well, because I didn't write all that on there.
Oh.
You're asking me to say it, so now I gotta read it.
No, I'm
So I
just
have
explaining it.
My notes
You
on
just
it.
need the motion.
Oh,
Your
okay,
motion's
so I
still the
was
same,
okay.
I'm just
Oh,
asking.
you were just adding to it.
She was
Yep.
explaining for
My wife
everyone.
just corrected me. Okay. All right, so I make a motion to approve the advertisement of ordinance 2025-10. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I thought I copied all that, but you got me. Okay, and now we're gonna have Mr. Walliser, our manager, give a budget presentation.
All right, good evening. I'm going to go over a basic budget presentation. It's going to cover most of the very basics of the township's operations and finances. As we begin this budget season, we begin to work through what we need to get accomplished for the next year's budget. So for tonight, I'm going to introduce you guys to the basics here. We're going to talk about basic deal municipal taxing. This is going to be background information. Some people may know this, some may not. I'm including this so everyone's starting from the same basic starting point. We're going to talk about the history of Upper Frederick, when we started our taxes, how much they are. We're going to review our fund balances. We're going to look at our revenues and expenditures. We're going to talk about and our goals in taxes going forward. So, for the basics of a municipal taxation, here in Montgomery County, there are 4 sources that get you your millage. Those 4 sources you can see are the county, of which Upper Frederick has a 5.252 millage rate. We have our school district, which is 31.738 for the millage rate. In Upper Frederick, we're 1.62. In MCC, if you didn't know, we also have millage in Montgomery County for the community college. Every municipality pays that at the same rate. So the total millage rate for Upper Frederick right now is 39 mills. In Upper Frederick, we also have an earned income tax. This is a tax applied to those in working professions and earning income. And essentially, this is a portion of your wages go to your local municipality. This is relatively common here in Pennsylvania. Our current rate is 0.5%. So we're going to talk about our history of Upper Frederick Township. So the Upper Frederick Township last raised its realty millage rate in 2010. That was 15 years ago. They did this with ordinance or resolution 2009-14. They raised the millage rate from 0.82 to 1.62, almost a 100% tax increase on your millage rate in that resolution. That's the last time the taxes were raised here in Upper Frederick, 15 years ago. I'm also going to talk about here, the average millage rate in the county is 5.46 mills for the local township. That's the average. So we are well under the average here in Montgomery County, and we haven't raised taxes in 15 years.
Do we know if we're the lowest?
We are not the lowest.
Do you know who is the lowest?
I'd have to check on it.
Oh.
I do have that information here, but I actually have the millage rates for all 61 municipalities here tonight. We can check near the end. For our earned income tax, that was created on Ordinance 2011-06. The EIT on that ordinance was set on 0.5%. We haven't touched it since. That was 12 years or 13 years ago. County average for that rate is double what we have. It averages almost 1%. So, what does that mean for us and how much money we keep in our general fund budget? As you can see, our general fund budget is basically at the same number it was in 2014. It's remained relatively consistent. What I would like to point out for you on this chart, however, is you'll see a bump, an increase in 2022. That was caused by ARPA. Without those ARPA funds, since 2018, you'd see a decline in our general fund balance consistently. So, let's talk about revenues and expenses.
So
As
can I just, I'm sorry, to
Go ahead.
confirm. So the ARPA payment was 3 something?
It was just under $400,000.
Okay, so it's 3 something. So if you take out, and what is that bump? That's at 1.7?
It goes up to about 1.7-ish.
See, 1.7. So if you take out 350, 400,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that swing. Oh, so that's probably about right. It's probably 1.8 because you are in the middle of the box there. 1.8.
If you take out that swing,
You take out that swing,
we'd be near 1 million as a general fund budget overall.
Right.
1 to 1.1 million is a general fund budget, so we would show an actual decline over the last 10
you'd
years.
show 2023 and 2024, $350,000, $400,000 less than where they are right now.
Correct.
Is there a second-class township code requirement for, to keep in the fund? Is there any requirements?
No.
General fund?
GFOA is the general accounting practice that is used for most municipalities. They do subscribe certain levels. Our general fund here is a little bit different. Our general fund is basically the entire allotment of not only our reserves, but also our water funds and things of that nature are included in that figure. Usually the requirements that are established are an operating amount, and usually in your operating account you want to have a roughly 15% of your annual budget in your operating fund as a GFOA standard. I have this basically to show that our reserves are dwindling as a municipality. It should be the general takeaway from this, because this is our overall balance sheet, is the way it shows here in Upper Frederick. So next, I've broken this out. Usually you'll see these two plotted on the same chart. I've broken these out to hopefully make them a little bit easier to read and understand. We've got our revenues here, and you can see our revenues, similar to our taxes, are pretty flat, because they haven't changed. What I do want to point out for you is that since 2022, we've actually seen a decline in our tax revenue here in Upper Frederick Township. And that's despite real estate increasing in price. We're still seeing a decline in revenues brought into the township, meaning we have less operating funds to utilize.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What is causing our reduction? Less income tax? Or,
There can be a number of things that will cause this. This can be people delinquent on their taxes. This can be decreased revenue from past years. It can be less people in the municipality in a working age, so the EIT is lower. There are several factors that can cause this, but the general message is that the revenues are declining. Conversely, our expenditures have been steadily increasing. We've gone from about 1.2 to about $1.6 million a year over the course of the last 10 years. So while our revenues have stayed flat and have declined recently, our expenditures have continued to decline throughout that entire period over the last 10 years. There are two main driving factors with the expenditures here in Upper Frederick Township. These are the two largest spending areas that we have here in the township. Personnel cost that we have, that includes not only salaries but also benefits for the personnel, as you can see has raised over time just like you would expect it to do. Our graph here is a little less consistent than you would see in most municipalities because we have a smaller overall staff. So if we add maybe 3 people in the office versus 1 on the admin assistant side, you're going to see a spike in personnel costs. If we lose someone in public works, you're going to see a decrease. But a single person leaving or being added makes a significant change to our expenditures because we are a small municipality. The other main expense that we have, and this is the second largest expense, is professional services. This is consultants, engineers, lawyers, the professionals we rely on when we don't have expertise in-house. And that price has consistently increased. It's gone from about $200K to over $300K, roughly a 50% increase over the last 10 years. Those increases are built into their contracts when we sign them. They have a year-over-year increase, just like your employees are expecting an increase in a raise to keep up with inflation year after year.
Were you done with that slide?
Yes.
So I can ask a question?
Go ahead.
2018 personnel, do we know why
There used to be 3 front office staff members here.
that was the 3? That, you referenced that, but I didn't know if that was actual. I thought you were using it as
That's
an
why
example.
that popped that year. Then we reduced somewhat. We went from 1 at one point, and then we picked up to 2 again. And then in 22, we dropped back down to 1. That's when we picked up Linda, our treasurer.
But she's professional services.
She is a professional services, so there was some switch into that expenditure in terms of its category.
And you said she started 2021, so that shows the swing from 2021 personnel costs are below the line, the dotted line, and the professional services jump above it.
But generally, in that first year where she was here, we did not see an increase in professional services.
Okay.
That's your last 2 dots there in 22 and 23. On professional services, they're basically flat.
Well, 21 went up from 20, but not, 20,000,
So.
okay.
So, I just wanted to give everyone just a basic, precursor on the general financial, metrics and kind of heartbeat on the township here. Over the course of the next year in the next budget process, we want to start working on ways that we can create more fiscally responsible plans to manage cost here. We're going to try to do cost cutting, just like any business would do when you start having decreases in revenue and increases in expenditures. You need to look at your expenditures and see where you can cut back. That's going to be our first step. We also want to try to track our revenue declines. We want to try to better define that to see if there is something that should be targeted. We also want to keep a good eye on our general fund balance to see if there's anything that we can do to continue to try to maintain that at least at its current level over the next fiscal year. We also want to start building some capacity into the township to build reserve funds. And one of the ways we want to do that is try to bring some contracted